Welcome to Gapology Radio Podcast with authors Mark Tinas and Brian Brockhoff. We can be reached at gapology.org, and our books can be found at amazon.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Gapology Radio. This is your leadership development podcast on Gapology, IMBAR, and more. Let's go ahead and give Mark Tinas a call and see what he's up to.
Brian.
Hey Mark, how are you?
Great, how are you?
Doing good, although I was kind of worried here.
Worried about what?
Well, I sat down on my chair and 2 screws just went flying. So
not a good sign.
I know. So I started worrying. I'm like, oh my God, have I put on weight? So I ran in the bathroom. I'm doing okay. It just must be a faulty chair. Yeah, I'm just going to blame it on that. Yeah, I'm okay.
Most likely.
Yeah. I think it's salads for me from now on. So what would you like to cover?
Well, I think that tensions are running high throughout the country, throughout businesses, in most offices. So I thought we could cover how leaders can lower the temperature in the room and make people feel better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely well needed.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Yeah, so, workplace tension is very high today. I hear it from everybody that I talk to. I experience it myself and I see it. And it's driven by a number of things. Deadlines, direction changes often cause tension. Just issues that come up, conflict. There's many things that are very much unavoidable that come up in the office place. So what do you do about it? So many leaders actually inflame these issues and make things worse. What I'd like to give the group tonight would be ways to lower the temperature in the room, to diffuse issues. How's that sound?
Yeah, no, that sounds good. I definitely think we need this.
Yeah, so this tension in the workplace, let's just call it that for lack of a better term, has a very negative impact on productivity. So people lose productivity when there's tension in the workplace. They talk to their peers, they're distracted, they're just less productive. It lowers performance, therefore, for the team. And the worst thing that can happen is you can literally lose your best people. They will leave and go somewhere where the tension is lower or where they perceive it to be lower. So they're easy pickings, by your competitors. And we don't want that, right?
Right, for sure. Got to keep the good ones.
Yeah, so here's 5 steps that leaders can use to lower the temperature in the room. So if you're taking notes, write these down. Brian, I'll stop after each one and let you comment on them.
Sure.
So here we go. So step number 1 is to just talk to the team about the purpose and bring them back to the bigger things, to tie the work back to the purpose and tie it to why we do what we do. Keep them focused on the big picture. Often the tension in the room is around small things, but just keep bringing it back to what matters most and back to the purpose. And by giving them a bigger perspective, it tends to lower the temperature in the room automatically. What do you think about that one, Brian?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, tying people together to a common cause, a common denominator that everybody's going after, I think can bring people together.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And you bring them together and you naturally lower the tension. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is the leader has got to be a teacher that puts things in perspective. So achieving greatness, and I'll call this step greatness, achieving greatness is not a linear process. It doesn't go upwards on a graph at a 45-degree angle. That isn't how it works. There are ups and downs in achieving greatness, and teams and organizations will have dips, and that may cause some of this tension. So explain it to them. Show them the progress. Graph it out for them. Show them how it works. Show them what the long run looks like. Show them where they've come from. greatness is not linear. And we as leaders have to explain that to the group. What do you think about that one, Brian?
Yeah, it makes me think about something I call the emotional roller coaster. So as businesses go up and down, and as their efforts toward a common goal goes up and down, a lot of times emotions follow that, and people can kind of go on this what I call the emotional roller coaster, where you have these peaks where it's high emotion, it's very very stressful. And a lot of times people make bad decisions and they say the wrong things during those high emotion times. So I think the leader has to be that person who can try to navigate that roller coaster for people.
Yeah, I agree with that totally. Even if you looked at the graph of the most successful companies out there and you graph their progress, whether it's sales, revenue, profit, whatever, you would see that it's not linear. It may go up over the long run, but it has peaks and valleys, so you've got to make sure the team understands that and sees that. So thank you for that, Brian.
Yep.
The third one is so simple, and it is often missed, and it is simply recognition. So in times of high tension, begin recognizing the team daily. Recognize the people that embody what you're going after and that are achieving the results that you desire, whether it's daily recognition, weekly recognition. But the higher the temperature, the more frequent recognition should occur. So reward the things that you value and reinforce the things that matter most. So simply use recognition. And I think during times of high tension, we literally forget to recognize the team. And it works, and again, it brings us back to what matters most. What about that, Brian?
Yeah, I think keeping it personal with the recognition, recognizing behavior, effort, recognizing the people who are really tied to that purpose, I think can definitely help.
Yeah, and it's so simple, and it's free.
Right, yeah.
Well, I am a Starbucks gift card. Spend a little money.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it works. So,
mm-hmm.
All right. The next one is value. So if people feel valued, nothing else really matters. The tension is no big deal. The dips in the road, no big deal. So make people feel valued. Make sure that they always feel valued. And you as the leader are the most important person in achieving that. When you tell people, thank you, I appreciate your efforts, you mean a lot to me, you're terrific for the organization, etc. Make people feel valued. Behave in a way that makes them feel valued. And again, if people feel valued, you got it. You got it. People don't leave companies because they feel valued. The research Brian and I have been doing on a book we're writing about millennials, for example, says that a huge percentage of them, 70 to 80% of millennials today, do not feel valued at work. They don't feel that their companies value them. They're not engaged in the workplace. Make people feel valued.
Yep.
It's a big deal. Brian?
Yeah, and that happens every day, and it should happen throughout the day. It doesn't need to be an event. Although, I was thinking as you're saying that about a time where I was giving like a yearly performance appraisal. I was sitting down across the table from somebody, and this is one of these old guys that had been around for a long time and, been in the workplace for a long time. And I sat across the table from him, and I lowered my voice. I just looked him dead in the eye. I didn't break eye contact. And I just said, I just want you to know that I really value you. You're an important part of the team. And you could see tears welling up. And he said, nobody's ever said that to me. And I'll never forget it.
Yeah, I remember the day you told me that.
Yep. Yeah.
It was me sitting across the table.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, Mark, I do value you.
And I really appreciated when you told me that. I mean, it was so meaningful to me.
I know. It was good I had a hanky.
Changed my life, too.
Yeah.
All right, the last one is the pathway. So when you hit these dips in the road, you as the leader are responsible for developing the plan to get out of the dip in the road, the pathway forward. So not only develop the pathway forward for the team, but describe describe it, make them a part of it, seek their feedback, show them the light at the end of the tunnel. They may perceive things as being bad. They're not as bad as they appear. Here's how we're going to do this, team. Here's what we've got to do. Help them see the plan, make them part of it, engage them, and things will change. So the tension will lower automatically because they have confidence that we've got a plan. This is no big deal. We're gonna make it through this. So what do you think about that one, Brian?
Yeah, that's really part of adult learning theory as well, is, involve your team. Anytime, that you can engage an adult in the pathway, the future plans, it gets their buy-in much stronger than if you're just telling people what to do.
Yeah, no, so true, so true. So great leaders lower the temperature in the room through the following things. They tie everything back to the big picture and the purpose, why we do what we do. They explain to their teams that achieving greatness is not a linear process. We are going to have dips. That's just how it is. Life works this way. They're going to recognize the team and even go to daily recognition. And it really is meaningful. It ties people back to what matters most. They're going to make people feel valued. And when people feel valued, the rest is easy. The rest is easy. And then they're going to provide for the team a pathway forward. Here's how we're going to get out of this dip. We have a plan. No big deal. Let's go for it. We're all one team, as you said earlier. So just lower the temperature in the room when tensions run high. What do you think, Brian? That's all I've got for today.
Yeah, no, I think this is good, Mark. I think these steps are crucial, especially in this day and age. Temperatures are running high, and I think one of the biggest dangers with this is not following these steps and just letting that temperature continue to rise over and over.
Yeah, well said, well said. Yeah. Thanks, Brian.
All right, thanks a lot, Mark. We'll talk to you later.
Talk to you then.
Yep, thanks. Bye. All right, that'll wrap up our podcast for this week. Head on over to our website, gapology.org, for more information. Everyone have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you soon.
This has been a Gapology production. Visit us at gapology.org.